Warning: the Ninja X show may trigger the social justice warriors, incels, the Me Too movement, menonazis, feminazis and other extremist groups. Viewer discretion is advised.
This video is brought to you by SchoolTrashers.com, educating people with the truth by trashing indoctrination and extremist views since 2005.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment...
Fresh. Salty. Delicious. SJW Tears. Available now at your local supermarket.
Welcome to the Ninja X Show. Today's topic, going from anti-Trump to becoming a Trump supporter. So how did I reach this point? I used to be against him because I believed in the lies of the media said about him. Plus I regret calling his obsessive supporters as Trump pansies and Trump cucks. I take back what I said because I really didn't understand why anyone would support Trump, because I was blind to what was really going on. So for that, I am truly sorry. I am also sorry to Trump for comparing him to Hitler, because I realized in 2020 that Trump is nothing like Hitler. So again, how did I reach this point? It all started with what happened in Covington, Kentucky. The kids in MAGA hats were falsely accused of racism. The media painted Nick Sandmann as a racist because he was smiling at an Indian. Nick Sandmann did nothing wrong. None of those Trump kids did anything wrong. Because you see, what happened during Covington, Kentucky paints a very different picture than what the media was telling you. It was the black Hebrew Israelites who were the real bigots at that event, because they used racist, sexist, and homophobic slurs at that event. So this started opening my eyes and showed me that the media cannot be trusted. Which reminds me, I did a video against SJWs years ago when they bashed DC comic movies. Like when they got offended that Batman had sex with Batgirl in the Killing Joke movie. Or when Harley Quinn was getting undressed in Suicide Squad. So being against leftist SJWs was also a starting point for me being on the road to becoming a Trump supporter, especially since a lot of leftist SJWs hated DC Comics and would often call their fans toxic and a cult. Trump supporters were also called toxic and a cult by leftist SJWs. Because you see, leftist SJWs called Justice League Snyder Cut fans toxic and a cult. They did everything they can to try and stop this movie from ever seeing the light of day. Leftist SJWs, especially those working for the mainstream media, would make up lies and propaganda about DC fans and Zack Snyder. You got leftists and the mainstream media in general you could not trust when it comes to Trump and his supporters. So let's fast forward to the Jussie Smollett situation. He created a hate crime hoax trying to make Trump supporters look bad. The mainstream media did not question it, and they supported him. And then Jussie Smollett was caught lying. Same thing with Bubba Wallace, because he too created a hate crime hoax and was caught lying. AOC was also caught in a lie when she was talking about her life being threatened during the Capitol riots. She was not even in that building, she was in her office. So now let's talk about Tulsi Gabbard. She is a woman I supported 100% to become president. around this time in 2019, I wasn't anti-Trump anymore, and I even admitted to being wrong about Trump supporters. But I had not decided on voting for Trump yet. I was very hopeful that Tulsi would become the nominee for president. Well, Big Tech had censored her. They did everything they can to screw her over. The DNC also wanted to screw her over. Hillary Clinton called Tulsi Gabbard a Russian asset. She also said that Tulsi would run as a third-party candidate. Hillary Clinton, however, was caught lying, and she is being sued by Tulsi Gabbard. So it wasn't just the mainstream media, establishment Democrats, and Big Tech who were against Trump and his supporters. They were also against Tulsi Gabbard and her supporters. They are also against any anti-establishment candidate, regardless if they are left-wing or right-wing. It didn't matter to them because they prefer corruption to stay in power. That is why you cannot trust Big Tech, establishment politicians, or the mainstream media, especially when you have Nancy Pelosi ripping up Trump's speech like an evil witch. Then she was eating expensive ice cream as well as getting her hair done at a beauty salon while it was supposed to be closed. Due to the pandemic, then of course there was Big Tech censoring conservatives, Tulsi Gabbard, hashtag Save the Children, and the Hunter Biden story. You got Twitter banning Trump and getting Amazon to deplatform Parler. Of course I was going to be against Big Tech, establishment politicians, and the mainstream media. Anyways, around March, I began supporting Donald Trump for president. I guess after seeing what they did to Tulsi Gabbard, I began to understand that they were trying to do the same thing to Trump. They will call you a conspiracy theorist for believing anything bad about Democrats, Big Tech, and the mainstream media. Yet they will throw around conspiracy theories about Trump and his supporters being white supremacists, which is not true at all, especially since Trump condemns the KKK and white supremacists. So with that said, I think we really need to stop believing in the lies and propaganda. We should be against corruption, and we should question everything. And finally, we arrive at the last segment, which is today's social justice incel of the week.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
Congrats, Movie Bob. You are today's social justice incel of the week. That's all I have to say. Don't forget to share this video. Tune in next time for more truth, logic, and common sense.